disaster on the horizon. Well, I'm Lebza, and I'm still catching my breath after Brighton shocked City. One day,
Hey guys, it's one day here, the host with the most. Here to keep you with the hot takes grounded, although even I'm still struggling to explain how does it happen that for 40 minutes AR doesn't play. So
And I'm
wait,
Tibo Lava.
wait, there's something that's busy beeping.
Tabo, Tivo, your fridge or something.
Now it stopped, but it was like ping, ping, ping. It was basically, we have to start again. We're going to start again. Shahid, where are you? Do the thing. Restart us again. Restart us again. There was just some sound
Fine.
coming through.
Just carry on.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Hang on a
Oh,
second.
are you checking? Are you checking where the sound comes from?
Yeah.
Please, no woman abuse there. Now beating the fridge. Just keep yourself calm, dog.
Like, yeah.
Keep yourself
All right.
calm.
All right. All right.
Okay, you back. Ogonji, you're still a croco.
Brah. Brah.
All right.
Let's go.
I'm going to start it again. Here we go. Welcome back to Let's Argue, the Monday edition. And what a weekend of sport. Upsets, VAR drama, refereeing controversies, and a rugby championship blockbuster to look forward to. I'm your host, Lebza, and I'm still catching my breath after Brighton shocked City. One day.
One day I'll say here. I'm here to keep the hot takes grounded, although even I'm still struggling to explain how VAR can be offline for 40 minutes in Spain. It's really puzzling.
Yeah, sure. I'm Tibo Lava Ultra, and I'm here to stir trouble between these two. If your team won, enjoy the bragging rights. And if they lost, don't you worry about a thing. We'll rub it in gently.
Hey, please rub it in gently. Some of us are still suffering. But anyway, let's look at some hot takes and headlines that we got this week. Timo, do you want to take us through the EPL results?
So we had a big upset, and probably the biggest upset of the weekend at the Brighton and Manchester City game. The blue half of Manchester lost to Brighton, and this is the third game on the trot where they have not been able to get a positive result against Brighton Hove. And if you could see the pictures from the touchline, it actually looked like Pep Guardiola was ready to hurt himself again.
Don't go there. Don't go there with Pep Guardiola hurting himself. Obviously, Rodri is back. He was expecting more from the team, but I just think, it's a matter of gelling. And once the gelling has happened, I'm thinking you're going to see a different City. But remember, there is no Premier League one in September. Yeah? One day, what's your take? And I know Chelsea played. What was the score in Chelsea?
Well, the world champions, guys, don't forget, whenever you associate Chelsea, don't forget to mention world champions, because for the next 4 years, that's what I am. And that's what I'll. But yeah, taking it back to the weekend, the game against Brighton and City. I feel like City could have bagged the game in the first half, especially with Rich. But football at the end of the day, if you don't take your chances, you'll pick later. But Pep needs to change his been saying he needs to change.
Well, one day, your network is as bad as City's game. Sounds like we're speaking to a robot. Well, guess you are working for Mobicel in secret. But then, Man United walked away with 3 points, but barely, hey? Like they survived again. Are they getting back into, the Ferguson last-minute goals like they used to? What's your thoughts, gents?
I think it's too early to think about Fergie time. I think Manchester United needed to get a positive result from this game, and thankfully for them, it went their way. But I think they'll need to find some level or form of consistency. That way, that feel good factor, that feel good energy within the squad can continue and they can produce more positive results.
Yeah, Mara Burnley seemed like they were
Well,
about to steal it,
things.
man. They seemed like they were about to steal it. One day, what about that amazing Soboslai magic?
Well, Sobo. Nah, yeah, it was a very powerful free kick. I mean, even for Hungary, he does that. Even on international duty, he's always there making sure. In fact, he's played 2 games at right. So big ups to him. Really love the goal. All of the week contender.
Well, great matches in the EPL really kept us at the edge of our seats. From the Soboslai magic to the last minute winner by Man United to even the disappointment that happened to Guardiola's side. It was just another round of EPL amazing games. And as of this morning, I think we saw that Isak is actually on his way to Liverpool, even Gay from Crystal Palace.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one. Considering the fact that they spent 130 million to sign a player who's never scored 30 league goals in a league campaign. But we'll be hoping to maybe see his best level now, because at Liverpool, he'll be surrounded with quality from top to bottom.
Here's a question. Do you think he's going to score more than Haaland?
No.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Hi guys, yeah, I just wanted to say sorry, man. I was having some technical difficulties, but this is a first for all of us.
Yeah.
So hopefully moving
Black
forward,
Hand, welcome.
Yeah, what's up? So I could hear you guys, and I was saying a lot of things in the background, but clearly you guys couldn't hear me. So I just dropped in to say so far so good. Stream is going well. It's even live on YouTube, and yeah,
Oh, brilliant.
Upwards and onwards, as they say.
So now I hear everybody complaining about the 40 minutes of VAR disappearing in Spain. Thibaut, let's get into that. Because the first thing that I want to talk about, obviously we spoke about toothless Atleti, right? That Atleti, would they survive there at the Alaves Stadium? And you mentioned it last Friday that it could be difficult for them. But did this end the way you thought?
Well, where Atletico Madrid are concerned, really, I don't think they don't look like they're ready to turn their fortunes around. I think the writing is on the wall. I think their manager Diego Cholo Simeone has done very well as the Atletico Madrid coach, but I think his ideas now are just not getting the desired effect. They have been poor from the beginning of the league campaign, but these are still the early stages. They'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around, but if things continue as is, then I think the board of directors will need to make a decision on Cholo Simeone.
Come on, that's the only club where the coach never gets fired, brother. Like, we've had Cholo Simeone throughout the whole Messi and Ronaldo era, and he's still there, so I don't think he's going to go anywhere. But one day, as much as our friend Thibaut likes talking about controversies, including other teams, what about that refereeing controversy at the Bernabeu? That 2-1 didn't come for free.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't, because now even that penalty.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Thibaut, and everything is like Madrid is like it's holier than thou. No player mishaps, it's everything going his way. But when it's other teams, it's referees who have, he's just giving referees a bad name. But what can you say? We all saw a team winning, so how it is.
Yeah, no, you know what? For me, I can definitely tell you. When Thibaut and I were talking on Friday about the prospects of Barcelona and Rayo, we did obviously dabble on the fact that Rayo play beautiful football. They also like to hold the ball. However, obviously, I think between me and you, we were not thinking that the draw would actually be the result of the game. But obviously, the field at Rayo was definitely something that contributed to the game. They play like that when Barca is coming because they know that Barca likes carpet football. So they'll obviously not water the ground to make it a little bit hard to pass. But obviously, both teams were playing on the same surface. But obviously, Rayo were prepared for the surface because they knew who they were playing with. But no excuse for Barca. Olmo, whose name rhymes with almost, he almost scored. He did what he does best, and he hit it for conversion in a rugby match. So I think Olmo better watch out because then Rashford or even Firmin can definitely take his place. But yeah, shocking scenes at Rayo Stadium.
I think we should also mention that had it not been for the atrocious refereeing decisions, the game probably would not have gone in favor of FC Barcelona.
We hear you, Thibaut, and your hate that you have for Barcelona. But to the Let's Argue fans who have joined us in their numbers, they know which team gets more support from referees. But you know what? We don't want to dabble on that too much. Let's touch on a bit on the local side, because we do know we've got some local fans joining us here too. And we saw that the weekend started off with the Brazilians getting it done. Was that convincing enough, gents?
Yes, that was a good result from Mamelodi Sundowns, considering how things have gone recently for them against one Orlando Pirates. I think they needed to get the 3 points under the belt, and they did everything possible to ensure that they got the result. Great work from Mamelodi Sundowns on a away trip against a Stellenbosch side that can be very tricky.
But is Stellenbosch dropping off in their quality? Because now these are now, I think, a few games that Stellenbosch actually hasn't won. They lost against Chiefs. Now they lost against Sundowns. What's going on in Stellenbosch? Is it because maybe they bought also their best players?
Of course, that's a contributing factor right there, that they've lost some of their best players. But also, they have not kicked off this campaign as well on the best foot. So it looks like it's going to take them a minute or a few games for them to get back into their rhythm and to find a new balance with the current squad that they have now.
And then Amakosi, Ajabulile, you know the new song that Kaiser Chiefs sings? Sina ndaba Pirates, tina sihleli phezulu. Well, the Amakosi machine grinded out another 3 points. Your thoughts on the match?
Kaiser Chiefs have done well as well. I think they're continuing in this rich vein of form that they find themselves in. They have not lost the game so far in the league campaign. So I think they'd be smithing at the manner in which that they got the job done. I think for the Kosi faithful, they have a lot to be happy about and to celebrate. I think now the onus is on the players to keep and maintain this level of football.
Definitely. I think you're right. Kaiser Chiefs is still obviously trying to win its fans back, obviously, and get trust back within the Amakosi faithful by playing, this enterprising football that we're seeing now. So we're really interested just to see how Chiefs can, hold on, especially after the international break, because sometimes when a team is on form after the international break, that all stops, or sometimes when a team is from the international break, they might actually then start to flow. And then, Ezimnyama Ngenkani turning on the style in Tebeja.
Oh yes, Orlando Pirates are in scintillating form right now. I think they are really the team to beat right now. The Buccaneer faithful will also be hoping that this group can maintain this level of play. 3 beautiful goals without reply. I think they can get away with being the favorites for the trophy. It's very early in the season, of course, but if they continue in this rich vein of form and maintain this plan that they have of getting the positive results with each game by game, then I think they can go for top honors in every competition.
Well, in terms of our main debate, it's really going to start with the 1-0 from Liverpool. First of all, the first thing I want to find out, that Soboslai free kick, is that a real title contender moment? Do you feel that was probably one of the moments that we'll look back to next year, May, and say this was one of the reasons maybe Liverpool won the league?
I don't really think so. And I say this because I don't feel that the Reds have found their balance yet. They've added a lot of quality within the side. And especially the addition of Florian Wirtz has changed the dynamic of the manner in which that they play, the manner in which they attack, the manner in which they defend. Against this Arsenal side, I don't think they played against a team who wanted to take the game to them. I also don't feel that from all the possession that Liverpool had, they were actually able to break Liverpool down, Arsenal down.
But Thibaut, Arsenal controlled large spells of the match, and Liverpool were not dominant, bro. Like, I don't even think that machine is really clicking.
Without being disrespectful to the Arsenal faithful, I don't feel like Arteta is doing a good job with those guys. To me, they look like they've unlearned how to attack, because once Liverpool got ahead from that sublime free kick from Dominic Szoboszlai, they had all the possession, but they didn't know what to do with it. They would attack, they would find themselves on the front foot, but there was no final pass, there was no link-up play within the final third. It's like now they were forced to go for broke. And in that position, they honestly found themselves in a situation where they really didn't know how to react.
But now, Saka wasn't there, which is one of Arsenal's best players, right? Salah did nothing. Ekitike did nothing. So Arsenal's amazing defense did what it usually does. So it had to take an amazing and out of this world free kick to actually beat this defense that Arsenal have built up. So I really do think this was Arsenal's game to lose, and they lost it because of that amazing free kick. But if it was just normal, I think they would have won.
I'm not so sure, hey, because you also have to look at the tactics. I don't want to take anything away from Liverpool, because sometimes you need a moment of brilliance to get you through or over the line. But if you look at Arsenal's tactics, they had Martin Thubimendi, they had Mikel Merino, and they had Declan Rice in the middle of the pitch. There wasn't any creative spark up until the 67th minute when they decided to bring on their captain, who started the game on the bench. So from an attacking standpoint, for me, it looked like Arsenal were doing what Arsenal do all the time: play for set pieces, play for corner kicks, and hope and pray that they get lucky and get a goal or nick a goal.
But I don't think it was by choice that Odegaard was on the bench. I think he was nursing an injury. So if he
was nursing the injury, why was he then on the team sheet? Because they brought him on in the second half.
Yes, they thought maybe he could handle at least a half, but not handle the first one while every person is still fit. Tactics, Thibaut.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone, but I feel like Arsenal have other players who can deputize for a player with the style or with the attributes of Martin Odegaard. There's the Nwaneri youngster who was on the bench. It wouldn't have killed them to start a Bereche Eze, and if things don't work out, then they could have pulled him off in the second half. I think sometimes you need to take risks, obviously calculated risks, but I feel like sometimes you need to take risks. But if I look at the manner in which Mikel Arteta normally sets up his team, I think he does not want to lose. He's comfortable with getting a draw or playing for a draw as opposed to losing all the 3 points. And when you have a squad like the squad that Arsenal have, I think you can be forgiven if you actually want to see more from them.
So are we saying now the new Klopp versus Pep is Slot versus Arteta?
I don't know. I think that was a different era.
Yeah.
I think that was a different era. I don't think we can really do that now. We'll see maybe when they meet up again, Manchester City and Arsenal, how it goes. But I don't think we can take things that far. I think that was a different era completely. And I don't think that Mikel Arteta is a caliber of manager or coach that Jurgen Klopp was.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. Because Slot is obviously won league first time and did very well in the Champions League. And then also Arteta is now playing even more beautiful football than Pep is actually playing in his team. So he took the lessons well. Look at Enzo Maresca also in Chelsea, another student of Pep. And his team is also now starting to play nice football. So clearly there was something good Pep taught, but he's not taking his own lessons anymore. Let's take a trip to Spain. The VAR down that you spoke about. 40 minutes with no VAR. This is La Liga in 2025. Like, come on. It's not even a Sunday league. How does Rayo manage to be a team in the top league, but they still don't manage to run VAR properly?
Well, with regards to what you just said now, I'm not particularly sure that the teams who are either hosting a game, if they are entrusted with everything that, is surrounded with the VAR team. I don't know if the VAR team operate independently or not, but there have been so many controversies surrounding VAR where FC Barcelona are concerned. So I think it was very disappointing that a top flight game in a league like La Liga continued for 40 minutes without the VAR team being able to communicate with the referee. And what makes the whole situation worse is there's a penalty that Barcelona got that would not have been a penalty if the VAR team were able to do what they're supposed to do. So they really have left a lot to be desired.
Speaking about controversies, you won't say anything about what happened at the Bernabeu, but we'll leave that for now. The joke in Spain is that VAR was unplugged because someone needed to charge their iPhone. And that's why.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a movie cell. Because if it was an iPhone, it probably wouldn't have taken so long.
Yeah, well, we know someone who uses a Mobicel and is struggling, and he says he's a world champion. Anyway, let's get into our fan Q&A and live chat. So those who are watching today, please do send us through some of your questions, and we'll read them next show. And we'll try and handle them as best possible with our little banter and some of our little football knowledge that we possess, so that we can try and give our perspective to it. But the first question coming from Qinisile says, who had the bigger flop? Was it Pep losing to Brighton or Simeone throwing at Alvarez? What do you say, Thibaut?
That's a tricky one, eh? Pep to Brighton, or I think it's Diego Simeone, because this Manchester City side, I think Pep Guardiola is trying something new, is trying something fresh. And when we take into account the return of Rodri, just came back from a long injury layoff. So I think it'll also take a minute for their best player to get back to his best level, get back to his best form. Where Atletico Madrid are concerned, the team is full of quality players from the number 1 right through to the number 11. So Atletico Madrid you really expect them to get a more positive result. You really expect them to play a different brand of football. But again, this is the Cholismo way. So I think between the two, the biggest disappointment was definitely Diego Simeone's side, Atletico de Madrid.
Yeah, no, Diego Simeone obviously competing with those two giants in La Liga does not make it any easier when these two can always just, buy any player that they want. But you're right in that Simeone also spent quite a lot of money. That should not be forgotten. Hence, I also say that Simeone has got a lifetime contract at Atletico, because regardless that he spends hundreds and hundreds of millions, but he still doesn't get the pressure that, for example, a Flick will get if he doesn't win, let's say, a La Liga or Champions League this season. If he just wins, maybe he'd probably be so under pressure. Imagine your Zabi Alonso. If he doesn't win anything this year, believe me, he is in trouble.
Yes, yeah, I know the level of pressure at these clubs is different, but I think where Simeone is concerned, I think he's done well for himself. Is it two La Liga titles or is it 3 La Liga titles as the Atletico Madrid coach? I think he's done well.
He's got two. He's got two. One that he robbed Barca with on the last day, and then the other one.
Hey, okay, I don't know about that, but I do remember that they were La Liga champions in 2014. Yes, I do remember that. So,
and I remember how they won it. But before we get into any of that, we got another question here. This one is from Sbu. I think he's all the way in Deep Slurt. He says, Chiefs or Pirates? Who had the more impressive win? According to you?
It was definitely Orlando Pirates, hands down.
Yeah.
Is
it because of the number of goals?
They dominated all phases of the game. They could have even scored more goals. It's not even up for a debate. It's definitely Orlando Pirates.
Also, you think Chiefs needed the 3 points to keep their fans off their back?
Well, look, if you're playing away, whether you win 1-0, 2-1, 3-0, the most important thing is just getting the 3 points.
Yeah.
But then if you're able to do it in style, then that's even better. That's like the cherry on top.
But did you see the two different stadiums? The one where it was cheaper was full. The one where Nelson Mandela Stadium was not full.
Yeah, that's because you need to realize that at one stadium, one of the best teams, if not the best teams in the country, was playing. So it kind of makes sense why there was more at one end as opposed to the other.
So there was more at the Chiefs game than at the Pirates game. I'm sure you saw. You saw Chiefs can even fill up the stadium midweek, but seeing people tired from work, but they will be like, I need to go to Soccer City because my team is playing. Huh?
Yes. No, I won't lie. I think the Kaizer Chiefs faithful, they really set the benchmark for how to actually support your club, because they're there through thick and thin. I think every other supporter for any other club within the Premier Soccer League can take something from the Kaizer Chiefs faithful. Very commendable how they do.
Another thing, though, this year, what's great is that the actual PSL title race feels alive now. Because now you've got the biggest teams and they're actually all doing well in a sense. Well, obviously, Pirates is number 5, but we won't waste time on that. But I think it's just so important when the biggest clubs in the country start doing well, because then, you know, there's these talks around the water coolers, around the smoking area at work.
Yes,
so alive. If it's just just Pirates only doing well, they can't talk to anyone. If it's just Sundowns doing well, they can't talk to anyone regardless, because how many fans do they have outside of Mamelodi? But, you know, but when you get all the big teams really then coming alive, you start to actually just feel that the PSL is actually an amazing league. And it's a beautiful product. It's a beautiful, beautiful product. Timo, you remember last week when we started our first segment, on our picks, our predictions, and then we closed off with the flops and the props of the week. So,
Yes.
we're going to start off with the props of the week. First up, which one out of these three is your prop of the week? Soberslai's free kick brilliance, Brighton's Amex Raw sinking City, or Pirates attacking swagger? Which one is your prop of the week?
That's a very difficult three to choose from there, because Dominic Soboslai literally handed the game to Liverpool on a silver platter with that brilliant free kick. That upset at the American Express Stadium was it really came from left field. It was a big upset for the Manchester City side. But I think I'll give this one to Orlando Pirates. An away game where they scored 3 goals. They controlled the game from start to finish. They could have scored more goals. They're really lighting it up now in the league. So I think the props for this week are going to go to Orlando Pirates for dominant performance in an away trip.
All right, let's argue episode 2 props of the week. According to Timo, it's that Pirates attacking swagger. Now let's get to flop of the week. Flop of the week. Oh yes, but none could be as floppier than last week's flop of the week, who we won't mention again on our channel.
Yes.
But the flop of the week from these three: VAR in La Liga, 40 minutes of blackout in 2025. What a disgrace. What about the creativity crisis for Simeone's Atleti? Is it the manager's lack of creativity, or are the players trained to have lack of creativity as they play? Or is it Burnley's collapse after almost toppling United? Which one is the flop of the week? VAR in La Liga, Simeone's Atleti lacking creativity, or Burnley collapsing just as they were about to topple United?
I think Burnley really came close to sticking another nail in Ruben Amorim's coffin, but they really threw that game away by letting Manchester United get back in it. With regards to Cholismo and his outfit, I think winning can be a habit. The same applies to losing. So I think they're really not on an upward trajectory now, but history has shown us that Cholo Simeone will find a way to get them on an upturn. But definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, the flop of the week has to be the VAR team in La Liga. Top flight football competition like that should not be experiencing that type of blackout or that type of malfunction. It was really disappointing, to say the least. Flop of the week, I'm giving it to the VAR team in La Liga.
I agree with you 100%. There's no game, even if my team ends up winning or anything, I would not like my team to win under such controversies. Like, why is VAR down? You know, have they checked everything? Batteries, electricity port, or was it load shedding in Spain? Maybe they need to tell us that they're also suffering from load shedding. But looking ahead, Thibaut,
it's always unfortunate that these things only happen. It's only unfortunate that these things only happen when Barcelona are playing, but that's neither here or there.
Clearly, you did not watch Real Madrid's match, but it's okay. Let's look ahead as the World Cup 2026 qualifiers are upon us, and we're starting on Thursday. We've got some big matches. Which one stands out for you for the Thursday matches? We've got Bulgaria, Spain, Holland versus Poland, and then we've also got Slovakia taking on Die Mannschaft. Which one stands out for you?
Well, I think the game between Bulgaria and Spain is a good game. I think that one will be one game to watch, but I think we'll all be expecting Spain to get the win against Bulgaria, even if it's an away game. And then the game against Slovakia, I think it also carries the same energy, because we'll be expecting Julian Nagelsmann to get a positive result against Slovakia. I think the game to watch for Thursday will definitely be Holland versus Poland. We'll see who will actually come out on top. There's a lot of controversy surrounding the Dutch national side. There's also a lot of controversy that's also been surrounding the Polish national side, since the Polish FA had to choose between Robert Lewandowski and their previous coach and the bad boys from Amsterdam. So it'll be a good match to see who will come out on top. So I think for Thursday, that's definitely the game to watch.
Definitely interesting to see how the Holland team just keeps on growing, because they've been growing for a while. And if you look at most big teams around the big leagues, you've got a player from Holland in most of those teams. So they're actually building up a very, very amazing team. So 2026, they definitely will be there in the World Cup, not just as spectators, but I think they'll be competing to try and win the cup. And then if we come to Friday, we got a big one. This is when France takes on Ukraine.
Yes.
Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think that will be a difficult tie for the French side, because history has shown us that when Ukraine are playing at home, they are a really tough outfit to play against. So it'll be an opportunity for the rest of us to see if all that quality that's in the French national side can culminate to find a positive result away at Ukraine. But again, we have seen that going to Ukraine is a really, 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 really tough prospect for any nation that actually has to go there to play, whether a friendly, a World Cup qualifier, or a Euro qualifier.
Yeah. You know what? Would France be maybe also struggling from a part of being over-indexed, like having too much talent that even the coach doesn't know who to pick, because they seem to have 3 or 4 players per position?
Oh, yes, definitely. There's so much quality in that France side that if the team doesn't get a positive result, we automatically just going to blame the coach for not getting it right. They have so many match winners in that side: Ousmane Dembele, Kylian Mbappe. There's even a young Cherki that just recently signed for Manchester City. There's a lot of quality there. So I think just looking at the France team on paper, I think all of us will be expecting them to get a positive result.
So we're expecting 3 points there from France. But then once we go to Saturday, 6th of September, we first see England challenging Andorra. That seems like an easy win. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think because they'll be playing at home as well, I think it's only fair to assume or to think that England will get an easy win against Andorra. But again, football is played on the pitch. So if an upset arises, then I think for the neutral, it will be a spectacle.
Hey, but let's see how England fares. But Andorra, I don't see them actually just mounting anything unless England basically don't show up at all. And then a match which I'm sure you'll be keeping your eye close on is Armenia versus Portugal. Do you see a straightforward win there for Portugal?
Where Portugal are concerned, I don't think anything is ever straightforward. So I think what they just need to do is put their best foot forward. The coach needs to ensure that he selects the right personnel or the correct first 11, and then they need to go out there and then just get the job done, get the 3 points, get it in the bag, and move on to the next phase or to the next game.
Well, let's see where Portugal gets to. But we've also got the big rugby championships coming back on the 6th of September. And Australia on the mighty Pumas all the way from Argentina. And then we have got the All Blacks hosting South Africa in New Zealand. What are your predictions? What are your predictions here? Australia versus Argentina?
Where Australia and Argentina are concerned, I see Australia just peeping them. I think they'll make their home advantage count. I think the home advantage will just give them the push that they need to go all the way and get the result here. So I think there I definitely see Australia just getting the job done against the Pumas.
And then South Africa, New Zealand. You saw South Africa came back against Australia in the second test, but the
Yes.
first one became one that basically woke us up as South Africans that, hey, we can actually lose. So now that
Yes.
we're playing the All Blacks at home, do you think we have a chance?
I think against the All Blacks, we always stand a chance. This is one of those big derbies in the rugby fraternity. So I think the South African faithful will be smitten at the chance of getting a win on New Zealand's home turf, but we must not be complacent. The All Blacks can really turn on the style, and they will use that home ground advantage to full effect to ensure that they get a positive result against us.
I think
Go
for me,
Boca!
but I think for me, now that Australia has beaten us once, it's probably given confidence to some of the other teams that we actually are beatable. So we shouldn't take any team for granted, and we should actually play as hard as possible just to ensure that we show them that we are still the bomb squad not to be messed with. So qualifiers look juicy. Holland, Portugal, Ukraine, France. But I believe the real heat is All Blacks versus Box. This is a clash of rugby titans. So make sure, Thibaut, that you clear your Saturday because it's going to be a feast.
Oh no, definitely, definitely. I think we have a lot of sporting programs to just enjoy for the next couple of days. Now that club football is going to take a backseat, so we can enjoy the international friendlies and World Cup qualifiers. But certainly, the game between the All Blacks and the Box is the game of the week. Everything will stop, and we all need to get behind the Box.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, to all our viewers, that's it for today. We've argued, we've debated, we've shared our thoughts on upcoming matches. We've recapped the upsets, the scandals, yes, Thibaut, and the 40 minutes of drama in Spain when VAR went to the loo. But next episode, we'll dive into the World Cup qualifiers. But I think before that, we'll be previewing some of the qualifiers, probably on Friday when we speak, Thibaut. We'll talk about the qualifiers that played on Thursday and then preview the ones that will play the whole weekend. And we've also got the US Open, coming to an end this weekend. So we wonder who'll be in the females final and who'll be in the men's final. Boca versus All Blacks. It's a showdown, Thibaut.
Thank you, sir. I can't wait for us to enjoy all of these games and all these matchups. It should be very, 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 very lovely to just see the Boca go all the way against the All Blacks, and we'll be having our fingers crossed that the teams that people will be betting on will go all the way and get the right results. Until then,
Oh, yes.
let's all argue responsibly, but argue loud. We shall see you all very soon.
Oh, yeah. From the Let's Argue crew, it's Salani Gahle.
So,